got my rods and reels. It's the real deal. Got plenty of room, so come on. Come on.
I've returned to a familiar place in my heart, beautiful St. Lucia. It's perhaps my favorite of all the Caribbean islands. This country is spectacular to photograph, with many mountains, miles of jungle rainforests, and stunning beaches. But also, friendly people and great food.
This is full-on church style.
Everything you'll discover when you come to St. Lucia. You won't forget this place once you've visited. I'll be exploring both the coastline and the jungle. I'll get a nice look at the island's famous twin peaks called the Pitons, then take a walk through the botanical gardens,
Beautiful.
and explore some volcanic activity, the sulfur springs of Sophia. Holy smokes! It feels like I'm on top of the volcano right here.
Woo! Morning, St. Lucia, baby!
It's a great way to start off my year. But more than that, it's about fishing with some truly great friends that I made here a few years ago. The great Captain Bruce Hackshaw and his crew will be taking me offshore again. And of course, joining us is the infamous Gary Insane Hussein.
That's going good.
I love these guys. Their passion to fish and have a good time doing so is what they're locally famous for. It's also Hackshaw's formula for success. And what I really appreciate is the hospitality they both happily throw down. If you've never met these pirates before, buckle up. It's gonna be serious fishing and a serious party down here in St. Lucia. I've long awaited my return here
Hey, what you got, man?
to further explore the St. Lucian culture and really celebrate this island's lifestyle. The weather's perfect and the fishing's getting hot. Stand by for action on this week's IGFA Anglers Digest.
Double hookup blues, man!
IGFA Anglers Digest is proudly sponsored by Tropic Star Lodge, Guy Harvey Ocean Foundation, Cobian Footwear, step into quality, comfort, and performance, Mojo Sportswear. Get your mojo on today. Halco Lures, making smart fish dumb. Wild Ocean, for the future of fishing.
St. Lucia is an amazing place to go. There's some beautiful islands in the Caribbean, some beautiful people, but the best ones are in St. Lucia. And I get to fish with two of my favorites, Bruce and Gary.
Feels so good to be back in St. Lucia.
Yeah, it's good to have you back.
Oh, man.
So for me, this is kind of a reunion trip and a fishing trip on the side. Now, the St. Louis Tourism Board were the ones who brought us on as a destination sponsor for this show. And they put us up in a really small little quaint hotel called the Alberge Sapphire. And the beautiful thing about that was not only the ambiance of the resort itself, but the close proximity to Captain Mike's sport fishing, which was literally a 5-minute walk. Met Cleus, alias Joe, the mate,
Yeah, we're gonna catch fish today.
and got our gear together and took off. But the cool thing was being out on Bruce's newest boat, his 46 Bertram called the Lucky Strike. Now, last time we were down here, we fished on his 38 Bertram, the Hack Attack, and it's still there, as is a 43 Bertram, as is two 31 Bertrams. So Captain Mike Sport Fishing has really got the finest operation for sport fishing in St. Lucia, and they're in the fishiest area as well. And they're extremely close to the ferry terminals, so you could literally come in on a cruise ship and go out for a half day of sport fishing, or go out on a whale watching tour, of which they cater to daily. So it's a really buttoned up operation and extremely well connected in St. Lucia. And you can't do wrong booking a trip, either whale watching or fishing with Captain Mike Sport Fishing.
So you come down to these latitudes, January, February. This is your peak marlin season.
Yeah. You know, you just idle out and bam, you're in blue marlin waters, you know. It's pretty good.
Here's all these people sitting up there in this frigid cold weather in the United States. We're down here in 85-degree weather fishing marlin today. It doesn't get too much better than that.
We had about a 10-mile run to get down to the FADs.
There's several of these FADs, F-A-D, which is fish aggregating device, and they've got them anchored off and they float
And what they do is they attract a lot of bait fish. The bait fish attract dorado, small tunas, wahoo, and the marlin come in to feed on that. So they're literally floating ecosystems out here that are planted by the St. Lucia government. What do you think you want to set out here to catch a blue?
I think today we're going to try out this one and this one. This one is the dorado color, and I like the head.
Yeah, okay.
It comes out of the water and gives you a nice splash, and the marlin usually go for that a lot.
Beautiful, man.
Right.
Let's rig it up. Lucky one today. I love this, man. We're a mile away from the harbor and we're fishing marlin. Like they were saying, it drops off 1,000 feet here within a mile of the harbor. So instead of spending all day getting to a spot to put the lines out, we're potentially catching wahoo, marlin, yellowfin, and dorado a mile out, which gives you, as a charter client, a lot more time on the water for your money.
Hey, Bill! Rocky Bluff, the 43, they just hooked up a blue marlin on the fat. They just arrived.
We should have been there first. Oh my God, man. The 43, one of their other boats, just got to one of the fad buoys. It's 9 o'clock in the morning, hooked up a blue marlin already. Love it. But once we got down there, the fish had pretty much gone, which is very typical of that fad fishing. Typically the first boats on those fads get the bites, and then everything else tends to fluff off, as they say in the industry. But we went down, had a good time, trolled around, saw some beautiful country, because the island's just so stunning to fish, and headed back kind of early. So the following day, we go down the dock, and Gary's brought his boat around. It's a northeaster style boat, and it's been all over the world. Well, you know, Gary, if they call you the tuna king, you're doing something different down here that other local anglers aren't doing. What might that be?
Well, a lot of this is what they do in North Carolina,
Okay.
and I've just kind of adapted a few things, and I've been successful with it. This is an electric reel that we use when we're going out for meat, because I sell tuna to the restaurants here.
Okay.
And what we typically use to raise tuna is a thing called a spreader bar. A spreader bar is this bar with a bunch of squids, 5 lines of squids, and a big play-action bird in the center. And then, 9 feet back behind it, we're just dragging a mold crab squid.
The stinger with a double tuna hook.
With a double hook.
Yep.
So it's quite effective in raising the tuna, having them bite, and holding the tuna.
Yep. We're gonna head out to some of the fads. Is that where our plan is today?
We're gonna fish our way out to the fads.
Okay.
Let's see if we can maybe hook up a tuna on the way,
Yep.
or a marlin, and then have a good day of fishing.
Sounds good. Lyle! And also joining us that day was Bruce's cousin we met last time, Lionel. And this guy's a pirate in himself. So you can imagine the stories and the amount of rum that was consumed on that afternoon. We went back out to the fads, didn't get a billfish, but we thought to ourselves, well, maybe some wahoo, because the last couple of days we catching a nice big wahoo, literally right underneath those pitons. And the pitons, these two beautiful lava peaks. It's the signature piece of real estate in St. Lucia.
Now, Bill, this is a view I never get tired of looking at. It's
This
just
is
so spectacular.
beautiful.
This is a World Heritage Site.
And I just stood corrected. I thought it was 1,000 feet of water. You said there's 3,000 feet of
We're in
water.
3,000 feet of water this close to shore, because it drops off so fast here.
Wow. So we took a lot of still photographs. And you know what? We just had one of those amazing days out where you don't have to catch fish. It's all the experience of who you're with and where you're at. That's what made that day special.
Nothing's better than fishing for me, other than having a chance to explore these amazing destinations. That's my taxi driver, Randall. Cool guy. I'm setting out to take in all the flavors and photos I can. I am loving life and having a ball today.
This is the town of Soufre.
Yeah.
You see the pitons, pitty piton to the front, go piton to the back. You could see them close, but they're 3 miles apart from each other. And the white steam rising in the middle of the mountain is the volcano. If it doesn't send the steam, we are in trouble.
If it doesn't send the steam.
Yes, because right now it's releasing the pressure.
Okay, that makes a lot of geological sense.
Yes.
So you're a geologist?
No, I'm not.
You have yourself a fabulous day, man. You just made ours a lot brighter.
All right. Welcome to Soufre.
Okay, we're gonna grab some lunch here at the PT Peak restaurant right here in downtown Soufre. You know, it's not always about fishing. When you come to these locations, you really need to take some time out of your life to get on the beach, get away from the water, and enjoy this type of festivity. It makes it all worthwhile. We're at a really amazing place here. It's the St. Lucia Botanical Gardens, and there's a place called Diamond Waterfall. And this is an amazing example of a tropical rainforest found here in the Southern Caribbean. Come on, man, let's go check out these waterfalls. What a reveal, huh? Wow, this is absolutely beautiful, man. So we wanted to say, if you hit this midday when the sun is hitting that rock, the colors are like rainbows.
Red, green, yellow. It's beautiful.
It's spectacular now. What a spot, man. Thanks for bringing me up here.
You're welcome.
St. Lucia, for me, is the most photogenic of all the Caribbean islands. Breathtaking, in fact. Especially at the volcanoes' sulfuric springs that I had to see for myself.
I'm with Michelle Vidal, and she works here at the sulfur springs. This is incredible. So it's obviously a volcano at one point.
The type of volcano we have here, it is called a caldera, which is a collapsed crater. Through a series of eruptions, the crater of this volcano, it's imploded into the magma chamber, forming a caldera. A caldera is a depression with steep sides, a collapsed volcano. But it's not only here. It's about 12 square kilometers. So from the time you have entered into Soufre, whether it's by land or by sea, you are inside the volcano.
I see.
And that is why we call it the Caribbean's only drive-in volcano.
Amazing.
Plan a couple of days to tour St. Lucia and take it all in. Trust me, you won't regret it.
All right, Mr. Hackshaw. So we got one more day of fishing. And I'm not worried because we're going out with Bruce Hackshaw on his 46 Bertram. We know we're going to get bit. Our thing is getting out there earlier than we had the first 2 days. So we want to be the first boat on that fad. We want to give our boat that shot. 3 miles from the fad? Okay, let's put them out.
Today's the day. Today we're gonna catch 2 or 3.
Put the lines out and we own this place. Guess what? 5 minutes later and the lightest rod just goes off.
Okay, right, Molly.
Woo! Morning St. Lucia, baby! Once I started pulling on the fish, I realized it's probably not a blue marlin. It feels a little smaller than that. Oh, man! Just came off. Just came off. No, he's on.
Easy, bro. Easy.
Got my mojo on this morning, boys. Good fish. We got about a 35, 40-pound wahoo to the boat with the first 5 minutes of fishing on that fad.
And that's what I'm talking about.
So at that point, we are joyous. We did what we wanted to do. We're playing by the game plan, and the game is going in our direction. We heard the bite was happening up north. 3-4 miles away from the harbor is where the other 2 boats were fishing, and they'd already raised several blue marlin and caught 2. And they're telling us that their blue marlin bites aren't coming in on lures, their blue marlin bites are coming in on ballyhoo with islanders in front of them. So we changed it up, put out the ballyhoo on the riggers, and lo and behold, we got bit.
Hey.
Hook up.
Yeah! Wouldn't you know it? The smallest rod and the pattern gets bit again. We don't know what it is. It feels pretty sizable.
Looks like a
look
sail.
at that.
Looks like a sail, man.
Let's just see what that thing is. Sail or a small marlin. Comes up next and it's like, oh my God, is that a baby blue? Is it a white marlin? I'm looking for the big powder blue pec fins on it. And all of a sudden it lifts a little bit of its dorsal fin. No, wait, that's a sailfish. That's an Atlantic sailfish.
All right.
We're stoked. We're in the game. Now, we're in the game.
Not 1, not 2, but we're gonna get 3 of them. That's right.
IGFA Anglers Digest, proudly sponsored by Reactor Watches, Best Built Performance Sports Watch, period. King Sailfish Mounts, from the water to your wall. Tough Line, braided lines for the toughest fish. Bubba Blades, the ultimate sportsman's knife. The Los Cabos Tourism Board.
There's flying fishermen hopping all afternoon in this area. We've been fishing a postage stamp. 5 blue marlin were caught here earlier today.
Look at the birds over there. They must be full of blue marlin.
So Bruce comes down, which he's hanging down there with the pit with us, and Joe's driving the boat. And it takes Joe to put his hands, his lucky hands, on that wheel for us to get bit. Pow! The left flat goes off on a big lure, big chugger. Right there, huge! And it's smoking an 80. So I know that's a blue marlin. There's no other fish that's pulling that much line off an 80 unless it's a blue marlin in these waters. Next thing you know, the outrigger rod goes off on the same side.
Double hookup blues, man! Yeah!
So I'm sitting there fighting my fish, and they're arguing who's gonna take the fish.
Okay, Gary, take that rod, buddy.
Gary, hey Gary, I want
Help her. Take it, Gary.
Come here, Gary.
Yeah, and I keep going, Gary, take the fish. No. He's like being the polite guy.
So that's why the fish are going nowhere.
So finally, Gary grabs the rod. He gets the fish up. We're clearing lines.
This is a wild ocean, man. Whoa! Wild oceans, that's what that's all about. Keeping billfish like this in these waters and not in American markets, man. Oh, it just came off. Yours came off? Yep. Doggone it. That thing was on for 5 minutes with good tension. Okay, you're alone, Gary. Woo-hoo!
I get it out of the water. You know, being a photographer, and we got a blue marlin on the boat, I'm just as stoked getting still photographs captured as I am capturing fish for myself.
St. Lucia, baby.
Oh yeah, where the real fishing's at.
That's right.
We're ecstatic at this point, and we're laughing at Gary. Because there's this big, burly guy having the time of his life. He's acting like a kid reeling on this thing, right?
I've watched you fight fish on these fox rods.
Yeah.
And just really, really impressed with the action. Yeah, this is the first time I've fought a fish before.
Oh, have you? Right on.
And it's nice. Ah, yes!
So it's one of those Chamber of Commerce fish, putting up a great fight. We're getting some great fanatic moment still photographs out of this thing. Beautiful shots. We get it close to the boat, and it's not coming in. It's not bronzed up, it's not tired. This fish is fresh. We bring it back to the boat. The mate Joe goes to grab the bill, and he's almost going over.
I got your ass, please. I'm not letting you go.
We unbutton the fish. Woo! It's one of those moments offshore when you fished for a couple of days and we just knew we put our time in and we're going to get them. It was an awesome, awesome day. And it made the whole week worthwhile. It's a friendly island, St. Lucia. And Bruce certainly knows a lot of people on the island.
Peace and love.
One of his good buddies, Ramon, comes up and goes, you know what? I got the steaks. Let's have a flotilla barbecue on your last day. So our last day, we're really looking forward to coming out, getting out there in the afternoon with all the families. And we didn't really know what to expect. We thought maybe a few boats are gonna be anchored up. We'll drink a few beers and barbecue some steaks. Unbeknownst to us, 7 boats side-tied, right there next to the beach. Beautiful, greasy, calm cove. Families, I mean kids from 3 years old to grown-ups in their 70s. And everybody's having the time of their lives.
Hey, what's going on, man? And I'm talking to people, go, how often do you have fellowship like this? And I'm hearing from everybody, are you kidding? This is every weekend, man.
This is just normal Lucian lifestyle.
Hey, George.
The sauce on this is crazy.
And after the beef, we have more friggin' drinks. Welcome to the Caribbean.
We had plenty of fish this week, but to culminate this with a party like this, great grilled food, great friends, great drink, great vibration, and the only thing missing, seriously, the only thing missing that I can think of is you.
No, it's Brontosaurus sticks.
No, don't toast you. Wait a minute. That is a cardinal offense. Is that glass empty?
It was a great kickoff for St. Lucia. And it's one of those destinations when you get back on that plane and you've got all your gear and you're leaving and you pull off the airstrip and you start gaining altitude and you look back at that island, you think to yourself, you know what? I am just so glad there's still a place left in the world like St. Lucia. Talking about fishing with two pirates. I'm not so sure if these are pirates or just a ship of fools out here. You know, it's such a pleasure fishing with Bruce and the boys down there. For one thing, they've got a great fleet of boats, extremely well maintained, but more importantly, what they've got that a lot of those Caribbean destinations don't have is quality of tackle. The reels and rods, top-notch stuff. The spools are filled right to capacity with fresh line. You just know that they're paying attention to that kind of detail. So you just know that the bait's gonna be fresh, it's gonna be rigged properly, and the boat's gonna run right. And I'd have to say, that area of the Caribbean, that southern area of the Caribbean, it's one of the most buttoned up operations in the Windward Islands. I want to take this time to thank again the St. Louis Tourism Board, who was astronomical in getting us down there, the Hackshaw family for putting us up, no, let me reiterate that, putting up with us, taking us out fishing, having a great time. Woo-hoo! Gary Hussein, Gregarious Gary, we can't thank you guys enough. So I want to take one more time to thank and reflect on everything that St. Lucia Travel, their tourism board, did to get us down there to make the shoot possible. We always feel welcome, and we really, really look forward to returning someday soon.